Hello to all my beautiful viewers out there. Today, in our second episode of Sneaker Jargon, I'll be talking about what a silhouette is and how it applies to sneaker culture. Now, in previous videos and even in the previous Sneaker Jargon episode, I have mentioned silhouettes. Now, you're probably like, Daniel, what the hell does silhouettes have to do with sneakers? And in today's video, that's what I'm hoping to cover. I'm hoping to cover why sneakerheads use the term silhouette and what it means in the sneaker culture. Now, to start off with some ground level work, we'll have a look at the Google definition of silhouette. So the Google definition of silhouette is the dark shape and outline of someone or something visible in restricted light against a brighter background. Now we have the groundwork. So the silhouette is basically a dark shape or outline that is visible on a lighter background behind it. Now, how this applies to sneaker culture is pretty similar actually. A silhouette in sneaker culture is essentially just the shape or the outline of a pair of shoes. Pretty simple to understand there. So when a sneakerhead or people talking about sneakers talk about silhouettes, they're really just talking about the shape or the overall outline of the shape of a pair of shoes. Now you're probably wondering, well, why is this a thing? Why would sneakerheads be talking about the silhouettes of shoes? I mean, surely shoes stay the same shape for their whole release period. Well, that's in part slightly incorrect and kind of an interesting conversation to have. So silhouettes of certain sneakers, more specifically sneakers that have been around for like 30, 40 years, their silhouettes can be subject to change. So the example of that was in a recent video, in the video where I covered the Air Jordan 1 Who Said Man Was Not Meant to Fly colorway. I talked about how the Jordan 1s, they changed shape from the period of 1985 to 2015. Now, what's essentially happening there is the silhouette of the Jordan 1 is changing over those 30 years. And I'll supply that image for you guys to have a look at. So in 1985, the silhouette of a Jordan 1, the back or the heel was incredibly straight. It was basically like that. Then by 1994, the back of the Jordan actually curved in a little bit. So the silhouette already slightly changed there. The overall shape of the shoe slightly changed in 1994. Then in 2015, it curved in even more, as you can see in the image. And there you go again. That's the silhouette changing. And that's why a lot of sneakerheads refer to silhouettes of shoes, because they may start specifically talking about how the silhouette looked better in a certain year, how it's changing in an upcoming year. It's definitely a term that is used in sneaker culture, and that's why it's there, because the actual shape of sneakers do change over time. So yeah, I thought I would just cover this in our second episode of Sneaker Jargon. The idea of a silhouette is the shape or outline of a pair of shoes. And the second point that we have to make is that silhouettes of shoes change over the years. So unfortunately, as much as I would love to live in a perfect world where the silhouette of a shoe that's released back in the 80s stays the exact same when it's re-released in the 21st century, unfortunately it doesn't. So we have to talk about the different silhouettes and how the shape of the actual shoe has changed over the years. And how do we do that? We refer to the change in the shape as the change of silhouettes on this specific model. And that's all we really have to say, guys. That is episode 2 of Sneaker Jargon. So in episode 1, we discussed colorways, we discussed what a colorway is and how it works in sneaker culture. And obviously today, in today's episode, we have talked about silhouettes and how silhouettes are the outline or overall shape of a pair of sneakers and how that changes over the years. Now in episode 3, I'm most likely going to cover retros and OG retros, just so you can understand a little bit more about sneakers. But I'm glad that I was able to cover silhouettes today. And if you have any questions about silhouettes, if you're confused at all, ask in the comment section below and I will answer all the questions. And of course, don't forget to follow the socials in the description below. Helps you keep up to date with everything that I'm posting. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.